All right, it's the post-game show. Bears beat the Raiders 30-12. Shout out to Miller Lite. I know you guys had it at the Pony. I'm out here in Key West. I just cracked one. Win number 2 on the board. I don't know how I'm supposed to feel about it. I'll be honest. Like, Chief, I saw some of your tweets. You seemed overly excited. Obviously, we didn't watch the game together. But that's my initial gut. My two initial gut things, I guess, is I don't know how to feel.
Time out for 1 second. We've been sitting around here for, I don't know, half an hour. Oh, Dave he's doing something. But it's like he's been sitting around here for half an hour, and as soon as we start the show, he gets up and leaves. But he's got something. He's got something. He's doing something. Nah, he's doing something. What's going on here, Dave? Why are you doing this to me? That's fine. It's uncomfortable, but all right. What's the bit?
There is no bit. The question is Tyson Bagent the quarterback of the future of the Chicago Bears, or is it this guy that's, in the Technicolor dream coat behind me? Or behind Chief,
if you're watching the YouTube version, they put the picture of Fields behind Chief. I'd say he's going to try to make sure he could play Sunday night next week, right?
He has to.
If he is healthy, are you playing him? If he's medically cleared to go, are you playing Justin Fields?
Yeah, you have to, man.
You have to.
I don't
think you do have to.
You don't have to, but you do have to.
Why do you have to?
Because, dude, you just have so much tied into him. I don't like.
Who does? Poles doesn't. They didn't draft him.
Sure,
he's right.
Sure.
He is right.
I understand. Listen, I understand all the arguments against it. However, I just still don't think you should. I just don't.
That offense looks so much better today.
It did,
but it's a shit team too. That's a shit team.
How many times? Okay, go ahead. You said you had two things. You said you had two things before Dave walked out. I want to hear the two things.
That was my two. One was I don't know how to feel about wins anymore because we're very clearly not going to make the playoffs. So if you're not going to make the playoffs, you don't want to finish 9th or 10th and get to that pick. You want to finish as low as possible. So A, I don't know how to feel. B, the Raiders were so fucking bad.
Yeah. And it was Brian Hoyer, but Brian Hoyer's not playing defense. I mean, you could say what you want about the Raiders and Brian Hoyer and whatever, but the Bears hadn't won a game at home in like 400 fucking days. It was like September. Yeah. It was September 22nd of last year. So, and you're saying like I was all excited online. Yeah, I was having fun watching the Bears for the first time like fucking ever. Like
I didn't say that it was a bad thing. I'm just saying that's what I saw from afar. That's how I read your tweets.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say it was just like it was refreshing, and there were so many times where it's like
it was fun.
It was fun.
That was
it. Was not like
that was it. It was fun.
It was fun, and like it's almost like there's nothing riding on it, and I wouldn't say I was excited for the game, but I was curious about Bagent. Like I always thought that he looked pretty good in preseason. I thought he looked fine aside from the turnovers last week, and it was like, like who cares? It's not like there's anything on the line. Let's go enjoy a football game. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. I like seeing the ball. What?
Let me ask you this. Was it fun, like one night stand fun?
I'm going to call her again.
I'll see what she's doing.
Because I think fun is long term. You want to get some playoff appearances. You want to win some divisions. No.
You're a guy that hasn't gotten laid in fucking months and months and months, and you're like, I got my fucking dick wet last night.
Yeah,
that was fucking awesome. I remember that feels like they beat the shit out of them. Of course, I know they had a cute game with Fields against the Broncos where they blew it. And then the R words.
Commanders.
The R words. This wasn't any really different than that, other than you had a guy like look at Matt. He had one sack today. I thought Wright played, all things considered, very well.
Let's talk about the ones. Yeah, because when Max Crosby was all over the field, but he lined up over both sides. But let's talk. I got a question for you, Eddie.
Yeah.
Bagent was sacked once.
That's what I was getting at.
How many times?
That's
when you're watching that game today, would Justin Fields have been sacked? I counted like 7 different times where I'm like, that would have been a sack.
I had a tweet drafted.
Okay.
In the third quarter that said Max Crosby has sacked Justin Fields at this point no less than 4 times.
All right, so yes, we're all on the same page.
Exactly.
And it's like,
I didn't send it.
and it's, you should have, because it was true. And it was one of those things where it's like, not only is the ball coming out on time, but this is a kid who has he just has that feel in the pocket, and he escaped. I think he ran for almost 20 yards in the game, right around there.
Eddie, don't let him do this to you.
And then, no, do what to me? Do what to him?
He's about to do it to you, Ed.
What am I doing to him?
You're trying to sell him on fucking.
I'm not trying to sell him on
a Shepherd University quarterback.
I'm not
being the guy.
I'm not passing.
And you know what? I'm buying what you're selling.
I'm just saying.
I'm buying what you're selling.
So don't let me sell them to Eddie, because I'm already selling them to you.
Yes, exactly. Yes, okay. yes.
But that's just my whole point. Like, this just feels like one night stand fun. Like, all right, but we're not going to win. We're not going to get to the playoffs with Bagent and Deontay Foreman. You know what I mean? That's my only point.
I wholeheartedly with Bagent, yes, but I think Foreman's good enough to be a starting running back in the league.
I think he's a good rotational. I don't see him as the bell cow.
I think if your 2 lead backs were Foreman and Johnson, or Foreman and somebody else, I think you're
Foreman and Evans. Evans was
I don't know where the fuck that guy, App State,
he
or
ran
whatever.
pretty hard too, and I was so annoyed when he came the ball last week, but he ran pretty hard too. I give him credit as well.
And I know they brought in Holtmer to be the special teams kind of guy. That was like where his value is, but I think his only touch of the ball was a fumble. So it's like they were rolling with those 2 guys the whole game. They're like, let's put fucking Homer in there. Immediate fumble. But back to Bagent. Like, there is something to a team where you don't have the debilitating drive-killing sacks, because he just has an awareness. Whether you're just escaping it and throwing it to the sideline, either to a guy. I feel like he did that a few times. Where it's like, this play is dead. He's scrambling, just throw it away. And then he throws it, and it's just like, it's either his guy catches it or nobody. It's just like smart, heady play. And it's like, all right, we picked up 4 yards there. Fields out there would have been, 3rd and 11 or 3rd and 15 or whatever. So that was just nice to see. And like, is it a one night stand? Is it a fling? I think it's more of for me, I think it's more of a fling. Like, I'm not saying what, like,
keep going. Keep going.
You guys are saying put Justin Fields back in there immediately. I'm not.
You have to look at things big picture, though. Obviously,
what's the big picture? What do you?
You sunk the 11th pick in. Not this regime.
This group didn't.
No, here. This is all it boils down to. This is literally all it boils down to. Getsy, Eberflus, and Poles getting together and saying, do we have a better chance? And this also plays into it, by the way. I'll get to this part in a moment, but who do we have a better chance to win with? Tyson Bagent or Justin Fields? And if that thing is any single way in Tyson Bagent's favor, you say, hey, we didn't draft that fucking bum. So you rolled Bagent, obviously, right?
I think I would agree.
We didn't draft that bum Fields, is what I meant.
I think if Getsy and Eberflus are worried about, they got Jim Harbaugh looking over their shoulders. If they're worried about that,
exactly what I was going to say next.
Then I think you play Bagent, because it's like, look, we didn't draft that kid. That kid doesn't have it.
We're forced to play a Division II kid.
Look at what we did with this Division II rookie.
Yes.
We finished 6-11. Pretty good.
Yes.
Yeah, but I think you're like way overselling what's going to happen right now. Chief's that guy. He falls.
No. But Ed, that's what they're praying for right now. They have to be praying for that. I am the guy that falls in love.
I am the guy that falls in love quickly, stupidly. But like I didn't say they're gonna run off and be incredible. If they go 5-12 the rest of the way, and the offense looks like that, I think that's a better story to sell Warren or who's ever making that decision than than going whatever with Fields. Like,
it totally is, Ed. It totally is.
You know what story I like more? You bring Fields he plays better, and you can both of those guys, and you keep Fields for one more year. One last Hail Mary. That's what I like.
I don't know that's a good thing. No,
I don't.
Because then you're in the fucking.
Well, you still think that the right offensive coordinator could make Fields a very good quarterback. Is that what you're saying?
I didn't say very good. I said good, like solid.
So
I think Fields is a top 32 quarterback in the NFL.
great. Well, you got to do better than that. Is he a top 12 ever?
I think with the I don't know.
No.
I don't know with the right.
Well, that's what I mean.
That's all my point.
You have to have if all right, Ed, if you're a top 12, 15-ish quarterback in the NFL, you don't need every single thing to be right around you to be that quarterback. You're that quarterback in spite of everything. A lot of things being not right around you, not having a good defense, not having like a good receiver core, not having a perfect, like every single thing has to be right for Justin Fields to be the dude in this league that we thought that he might be when he went off on that little stretch last year or against, Washington and Denver this year. There is nothing at this point where he is going to be the guy that drags you down the field like Mike Allstott on his back and says, we are going to win.
I don't know if you've been allowed to make a 1 point this whole show, and it's kind of funny to me.
Am I wrong?
You're not wrong, but it's like I still don't know what Ed's trying to say because
listen, because you guys just gave me a path where you guys dig the tunnels and you're laying out the foundation for a hole for Eberflus and Poles. And what I'm saying is I like Fields more than those guys. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, I
just provided the ultimate tunnel.
Here's what I was playing devil's advocate as if I was Eberflus and Getsy. That's what I was saying.
Okay, all right. I read that. The way you said it, you're like, that's what I would do, and I think we should because you got the Bagent glasses.
No. I said that I think that's a more compelling story to keep your job. That we didn't draft this guy. We couldn't get him to play the right way. We had a guy who was semi-competent at just feeling the pocket and getting the ball out on time. And he had command of the line of scrimmage. We saw him go, with different calls at the line, hot route. He had that one.
There was that one, yeah. The hot route, we all called it.
The check, which was just a check to a sweep, which picked up a first down. He did a lot of he didn't look like a rookie out of D2 Shepherd. And I think if I was those two and I was worried about, like I said, Harbaugh or whoever else looking over my shoulder, I would say, hey, we didn't draft Fields. We did our best with him. He's just not it. He doesn't see it. So we made it a football decision for the betterment of the team, and we ended up winning 5 or 6 games. And if you give us a real quarterback, not saying it's Bagent, but you give us a real quarterback, when we continue to build this roster, bring in Marvin Harrison, you bring in another guy. Maybe it's a quarterback. Maybe it's a left tackle, and we get some edge guys, and we just keep. I want to bring this up too because I read an article. I think it was in The Athletic, where we were very critical of Poles for not adding a real edge guy in the offseason. This edge class compared to what's going to be available next summer in the edge class. There's 5 or 6 guys that you're all right, give him the money. So maybe he was looking more long term, and it's I'll do a Band-Aid on DN this year as we're building this, building it out.
I would imagine every GM in football has a 3 and 5 and 10-year fucking plan.
Yeah, maybe, but
they know that the turnover isn't.
But if he's hey, I'm going to have some cap space again, even more cap space next year, and there's a better crop to choose from next year. We're not we don't have grand expectations this year. Let's just keep this thing going. We'll get Ngakoue and Yashim Green, and we'll cobble this thing together. And I think that would make some sense. But I think if you're trying to just do what's best for the football team every Sunday, I think you can make an argument that at this moment in time, it's Bagent and not Fields.
It's important to say how that whole conversation got started, and it was deciding who should start the next game.
Right.
So
and I do think
how that combo got legs because of that.
Yeah.
I think you're irrational for thinking that. You're in the moment.
No.
And I think you could call me on the same token. You could probably call me a little insane for I see more Justin Fields. So
I want to hear
your poison.
No, but here's where going forward for me, do you envision a scenario where Fields is good? Because I think I've kind of given up on that, where it's he's a true franchise guy, and if he's not, you're just trying to decide who's your quarterback between now and Caleb Williams or Drake May or whoever it is. And to me, it's just like, look, if once I really do like that, no teams operate this way, but I kind of feel like I don't care where you were drafted, I don't care how much money you make, who is better, who's going to lead the team better on this coming Sunday. And if it's, I don't care what position it is, once you're in the room, you're all equals, and you got to give it to the guy who played better. And that right now, football and everything else should be a meritocracy. And on merit, Fields' body of work is not at this moment as impressive as Bagent's. I'd give Bagent another week, and I would use the math being like, hey, his thumb's still tender. We're going to be, you can spin it. And then if Bagent goes out and looks like a D2 quarterback, then you give it back to Fields. But I don't think you can give it back to Fields just because he's Justin Fields. He hasn't earned that. He was just drafted high.
But you also, on the flip side, you cannot give it back to him or give it to bad. Like, it has to be a true meritocracy.
Right. So if Bagent keeps playing like this and they keep having results, so just take it week to week and eventually.
But if he's healthy this week,
what if he looks like complete fucking asshole in practice?
He dislocated his thumb.
It's on his throwing hand, correct?
Yes. So okay. I think you can say, hey, like, look at the guy.
It's gonna be a few weeks.
It's tender. We're not going to rush him back. And especially when the other kid played well. So we're just like, he's inactive again. We'll have Peterman as the backup, and then you just take it week to week. I don't see the harm in that. And it's not like I'm dethroning Justin Fields. He is injured right now. And it's like, and I do think it's not like a normal situation where he's killing it and he got hurt and you don't lose your job over injury. I mean, you could argue that he should lose his job just anyways.
I don't. You know what though? I don't know.
I think you want to say it. I think because I just don't see like you're like, oh, we got to keep Fields. We got to see like I don't see a scenario in the future where he is leading the Bears.
He is the starting quarterback. When the starter's ready, you play him.
I believe I believe in a meritocracy. I believe in adage. Yeah, and sometimes the guy, Brady, Brock Purdy. Sometimes like. There's an argument for the hot hand. One game is not a hot hand, Ryan. I said take it week to week. So they won the game today.
You have to understand.
You don't let people get their fucking points out. You don't. So you take it week to week. So to this week, he earned another start next week. And you can spin the narrative in the media that Fields is still not 100%. We're just going to roll with Bagent, and if he keeps playing well, then it's like, hey, we're going with the hot hand. Because at that point, it would be a hot hand. I think he's earned one more start.
It's Sunday to Sunday, though. It's not baseball where it's fucking Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or hockey or basketball where it's, what if he looks like complete fucking asshole in practice this week? We don't know that. Not really, we don't.
Which guy?
Bagent.
Yeah, I think he...
And he's like, it's like, oh, well, he played well last week against... It's like, do you go with him? You can't just, there's a lot of gray area where it's not like a team that's hot on one Sunday could be ice cold the next Sunday.
Of course. So my point remains that he earned the right to start next week while Justin Fields is still recovering from an injury.
I don't know, man. I think I can listen. If Justin can go next week, I think no question he goes.
All right. So
if you want me to meet you halfway and say if Justin Fields stinks up the joint again, then we should start thinking about putting him in.
Sure.
Maybe I can meet you halfway there. Sure.
So I think that's the worst case scenario. I don't think you can go back, rush Justin back in. He has a bad half, and then you go back to Bagent. You might as well just keep playing Bagent and wait for Bagent to fuck up, which will probably happen, and then you go to Fields. And be like, yeah, he's 100% healthy now. But I don't think Fields should be the backup next week. We're giving him another week off. We're rehabilitating a dislocated thumb, which most people would say, or the internet says that's a 4 to 6 week injury. I know NFL, whatever, I'm sure he can recover quicker. But we'll just take it week by week. I have a hard time looking at that kid and be like, you were great today. You're one of the reasons we won, one of the big reasons we won. And you're going back to the bench because this guy who sucked for 35 straight starts in the passing game
That's not necessarily true. He looked good the 2 weeks before. He had a bad half before he got hurt. Like, that's a fact. He played well against Denver. He played well against Washington.
He's making me defend Justin Fields right now.
No, I'm not. Because did he play well against Denver, or did he have one good half against Denver?
He played well. They put up 28 points.
Sounds like me right now.
No, I don't. You guys just want to like crown this guy, I guess. But like,
no one wants to crown him. No one
But like that's what I mean. So it's like, I do think it should be a meritocracy, and the team looked better. He ran the offense more efficiently. I think that you can say and protect Justin's feelings and all that by, hey, we're going to give you another week. Say it in the media. Justin's our quarterback. We're going to give this kid another week, and you just take it week by week. There's no rush to like this injury is like the perfect cover to just let it play out. Just let it play out. And then when Bagent has a bad week, you go back to Fields. But if I don't think if you rush Justin Fields back,
what does that do? What does that do to Bagent then?
He's a fuck. Who cares what it does to him? Who cares what it does to him? But I think it's more fucked up to bring Justin back and then have him on like this leash where it's like, all right, then he's dead forever. He's dead forever. If you bench him, not because of injury, but because of performance, he's dead forever. If you let him gradually just get healthy and then wait for Bagent to give him a moment, it's almost like this is like not an apples to apples thing. But do you remember?
Hold on.
What?
Should we call him right now?
No.
What for one?
No. But listen to this. So like, do you remember in like the 2015 playoffs? It was Scott came in, Darling came in the National Series, and he was spectacular, and they left him in for the
stuffed that guy in the Bruins.
Yeah, no, this is Predators.
Predator. I remember yellow. I remember yellow.
Yes, okay. Let me finish a point. So, and then then Scott started the next game, and I think they won that one. And then he had a rough start to his third appearance in that series, and you're out. It's Crawford, and it's Crawford's team, and that's how it was. And then everybody was better for it. But if you had just been like Crawford go immediately back in there and he was still struggling, and then you do like that whole thing again with the traditional starter and the backup, then the starter's fucked.
You're arguing exceptions to rule.
It's not apples to apples.
Yeah.
I think that's two different.
I led by saying it's not apples to apples. It's more of like a psychology thing than anything else. But I don't think it's a good idea to rush a guy back who had an injury to his throwing hand.
Like,
hey Ed, I want to say this.
Lineup. What do you say?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Like if baseball is a hotbed in the lineup, sure you keep him in. There's 9 spots. So like it's different. But I know what you're trying to say. I know what you're saying, but I don't know, Dave. What do you?
I think we should ask. What do you think DJ Moore would say? And Darnell Mooney, but they seem like they were way more involved, and they were able
Mooney
to
especially.
They were able to just do their fucking job, and even like that game against Washington, sure, Fields got the ball to DJ Moore, and he was great. Short week, all that. A lot of those yards were DJ Moore after the catch. It's not like he was slinging it all over the place. He was slinging it to his guy. DJ Moore made a play, caught the ball, ran for touchdowns. Like how many yards after catch did DJ Moore have in that game?
1,000.
Right. So DJ Moore had 230 yards receiving that game. I think Fields threw for 288 total.
Exactly.
So it's not like Fields was like, making reads up and down. It's just like I'm throwing it to DJ Moore.
I was telling that to someone today. Like DJ Moore had that, what was it, 80-yarder against Washington. He only ended up with 280 yards. That's no different than what Tyson Bagent did today. It's just you didn't see that breakaway run, you know? And Eddie, I want you to put Dana Beers. I know you're talking to him behind camera right now. I want to see what
he walked into our house.
Someone broke into your house?
Dude, I don't know what's going on. Hey, what happened?
I thought we were getting robbed.
Dude, all right.
Wrong house.
You're not getting robbed in the Florida Keys. Grow a ball sack.
This guy
could be drug runners.
Yeah. Have you guys found any illegal Cuban like drug cartels down there or anything?
No, nothing of that sort yet, Dave. We got like 20 hours to figure it out though, so I'm gonna try.
I'm sure you'll get there.
I don't want to get involved with those boys, but I'd like to just talk to them at the bar for a little bit.
Yeah, may ask them to come on dog walk one time. Like, hey, what's it like? Selling mountains of cocaine.
I met a guy last night that I think you should have on.
Who's that?
He's the number 1 rated tailor, like makes clothes, suits in the country.
Dude, I've been trying to track down a dry cleaning person. It's been harder than I thought.
I got you. I can't do the dry clean, but I got you a tailor.
In the same,
Yeah.
their sister company.
Yep.
Do you think he would tailor Justin Fields' suit right now? Probably not, because that guy's not worth his time.
Do you think Bagent even owns a suit?
Actually, no. That's the other thing I want to bring up. There is a guy in movie. All right, so we were with our buddy Matt today, and we were like, this guy looks
Shout
like
out Matt.
Shout out Matt. Tyson Bagent. He looks like he's from West Virginia. He just looks like he's from West Virginia, which is, I mean that as a very backhanded compliment. He looks like a hillbilly. He looks like someone that's like sub-society, and at this point, that might just be what I need to lead the Chicago Bears to an extended run of multiple Super Bowl championships.
It's one of those things where it's like they've been looking for a quarterback forever. Maybe they should have just stopped looking, and maybe they did, and maybe they found one by accident.
Yeah, exactly. How hilarious would it be
Stop looking.
if they
it's-
found
no,
their
now it's
guy
like-
by mistake?
No, like
Now Chief is in his romantic phase. He like wants to find the girl.
they
who,
didn't
like,
find a quarterback found
yeah,
them.
yeah.
Exactly. Like that's what he's bringing up Brock Purdy and Tom Brady and like, well, what about this guy?
What you
guy?
wouldn't?
All he needs is a chance, you know?
No,
Like,
that was my Connor Shaw. That was my if the Bears would have, if he didn't break his ankle against the Chiefs, we wouldn't even having this conversation. They would have just had Connor Shaw the last 5 years.
all right then.
So do you want to vote? Do you want to vote on who the starter is next week?
If Fields can play, he will be the starter. I think he should be.
You think
I
he
don't know
should
what-
be? Okay,
I don't know what
David.
goes on in our head coach's brain, so I'm not going to predict anything.
Yeah.
But I think he should be.
I'll say Fields with the fucking short leash.
And he's dead forever if he has a bad half. I'll just say. So I'll say, hey, Fields, you just keep icing that thumb, get massage therapy on that thumb, do little thumb exercises like this. You think his thumb can do that like mine?
I don't know.
So
I don't know.
if he had this thumb, he'd be playing right now.
Maybe.
But
Why is your thumb bent backwards?
Because you can't dislocate this thumb. It's impossible to dislocate this thumb.
Is it already dislocated? It
No,
looks like it
I can do it with
actually.
both of them. I just have super flexible thumbs.
That is fucking weird.
Yeah,
that's a weird.
if Justin Fields had left turn thumbs like this and these 90-degree angle thumbs, he would have been playing.
What the
he would
fuck
have been
is
playing
wrong with your-
today. What? What's the problem? What's the problem? Those are good looking thumbs.
All right, this guy's really going off the rails.
right.
today.
Oh,
He's had a little too much to drink today.
I would love to donate my thumbs to Justin Fields to have him healthy enough to play. I don't think he's healthy enough to play. I would also like to do a Freaky Friday situation where you take Tyson Bagent's brain and put it in Justin Fields' body, because then you have a superstar.
I don't hate that.
Yeah. So
It's
we are.
Halloween.
Yeah, it
It's
is Halloween.
Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan to
We
get
got
it
to
going.
figure out. I might rewatch that movie tonight to see if we can figure out how to do that, because that's the key for the Bears.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Shout out to Light Beer by Miller.
the best.
Yeah,
A fine pilsner, people say.
Yes.
All these
slamming them on.
idiots outdrank us here today. I'm just joking. I was gonna say drank all the Miller Lite, so I don't have one right now.
We
which
had-
is
we had-
Well,
unfortunate.
you had some at
We
Country
had,
Club.
we,
Yeah,
had,
we-
we had buckets at Pony, baby.
Yeah, we were
had
drinking buckets
and
of Miller Lite at Pony.
Yeah,
So I was celebrating the Tyler Bagent game.
Tyson.
Miller Lite.
This guy
I'm
doesn't even
excited.
know
You
his
don't even-
fucking name.
Ed,
It's
his
Tyson.
name's Tyson Bagent, not Tyler.
I said Tyson.
You said Tyler.
You said
Did I say
Tyler.
Tyler?
You said Tyler.
All right. T. Bagent.
No respect for him. No wonder he's Russian Fields and he doesn't respect this guy.
No.
not
One thing
true.
I did like about him though is he is a little fucking cocky prick.
He is fucking cocky, dude. He is
I mean,
cocky.
granted, he's got literally zero to lose. However, when he was
Yeah,
like
that's
giving
how
the
Fields
crowd
should
is
fucking
like
play.
one of these, and then he started doing the check downs. He's like doing like pounding his ear hole like this. Like I respect that. Like that makes me think you're better than you actually are.
Yeah, and then when he scrambled for that one run, he's like getting the crowd going, like let's fucking go. Like he didn't look out of place to me. I
Hey.
thought he's going to be a guy who he'll probably be this generation's Brian Hoyer, Well, they'll be like, oh, who are the
You know
Raiders?
what?
It's going to be the year 2035, and someone will be like, oh, who's starting for the Raiders today? Oh, it's Tyson Bagent.
If the
Remember him?
Bears found Brian Hoyer as an undrafted guy at D2, that's the best quarterback. Like a Brian Hoyer. Brian Hoyer is probably the best quarterback the Bears have ever had. Like he would if he played his whole career with the Bears, like he probably is, right? Statistically, he is. Am I wrong?
Yeah, you're wrong. Yeah, you're wrong.
He would have had the most pass yards, pass touchdowns, he would have had every fucking record in Bears history.
They would have run him out because he's not very good. That's why every team runs him out.
I mean, but he would have hung around at least. What other Bears quarterback
here
hung
and he
around?
didn't hang around. He was.
I guess that's true. I guess that's true. He kind of was here and he didn't really. Yeah,
And he played too. And someone got hurt.
Yeah. Well, that was the Connor Shaw year. They had Cutler, or no, it was I don't know. Whatever. Anyways,
right.
I'm starting. You guys are both starting Fields. I'm starting Bagent. He deserved it. He earned it today. They got to win. You got to go back to him. End of discussion. Shout out Jalen Johnson. Great game.
Make sure you get your beer delivered to your house. You can go to MillerLite.com/Redline, or you can get it anywhere that sells beer. I'm about to go have some beers on Duval. Sell beer responsibly. Miller Brewing Company in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories, 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces. Disgusting thumbs. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Dave, I'll see you later. Great to see you, buddy.
always said.
What the fuck? What about me?
You're a banana head.
All right.